Track sounds.
Hello there, my name is Nick Gartner, PDGA number 120478. As far as I know, one of the newer additions to Team Lucky Ace here. And before we even get to talking about the stuff I've got in my bag, I have to tell you I always keep an extra pair of socks with me whenever I play golf, because what happens, if you get a hole-in-one? When it comes down to what I'm always keeping in my bag and things like that, I have this little guy that I always keep strapped on the side here, and it holds my Bushnell rangefinder for whenever I need to zap those distances and find out where we're going, how far we've got to the pin. I've also got this sunscreen. As you can tell, I'm already a little red. I'm always a little red. I try to put this on as much as possible, but the rounds are long, and I always end up getting a little bit toasty. Of course, the essential nondescript bag of loose Tylenol and Tums for whatever you could experience during your round, and then just a couple other little things in there. Of course, I have a particular affinity for throwing discs into the water, so this grabber comes with me at all times, and sometimes it's enough to get the discs back, but not always. This guy always goes on the back of my cart, this power pocket from Infinite Discs, and it holds my putters. I putt with Lunas. You can see that they've seen better days. The stamp is pretty well gone, but those still serve me pretty well. A relatively neutral putter by now. I have a different way maybe than most people of organizing my bag, which is that I put my discs in order alphabetically. Which I've been told is a little bit of a serial killer move, but you can judge that for yourself. You can follow along in the alphabet too. I've got an Eric Oakley Berg that I use for really straight shots that pretty much goes on whatever angle you put it on, backhand, forehand. It goes where it wants to, and it desperately wants to get to the ground. Then my Buzz. I've got a real old Nate Doss titanium Buzz. You can see a lot of signatures on this one. This one's got 3 aces on it. It goes also kind of like that Berg. It stays in the air a whole lot longer, but it pretty much goes on whatever line you put it on. And then backup Justice. I've got another Justice in my power pocket here, but the Justice just an absolute meat hook for whenever you need something that's going to fade hard, forehand or backhand. Malta, Discraft Malta, a little less stable than the Justice for sure for shots where I need something to fade. I pretty much just throw this one backhand, and that serves its purpose pretty well. Then my trick disc. My trick disc is a Star Mirage. It's one of the discs that's been in my bag the longest because it gets thrown so little. I know how well my round is going or how well my round isn't going based on how many times I throw this disc. It desperately wants to turn over no matter how you throw it, but it's really good for getting out of a jam. Then I've got a KC Pro Rock. Again, another disc that just flies straight as an arrow. Then a titanium swirl, a titanium flex swirl zone. I believe this is the Ledgestone, the Ledgestone 2021 edition of these. This is for when I want to throw a Justice, but know I shouldn't because it's going to break too hard, and then I'll throw this guy instead. I know so little about disc golf, I have to try to cover it up with my personality. Onto the other side of my bag, which is a lot of different drivers. Some fairway drivers first. We're still going alphabetically, so I'm sorry about that. On the right side pouch of my bag here, I start with an Onyx. I've got a couple of these fellas here. This one is real swirly. It's a little more stable. Then this guy is a lot less stable. I'll use this on a lot of different hyzer flip lines and something where I need it to naturally turn out of the box and just sort of fly that line and do exactly what it's supposed to do. Then I've got a couple of Pro Bosses here. This one is dyed by a friend of mine in Wisconsin, and this one turns very hard. I pretty much exclusively throw it either as a roller disc on a backhand or a forehand turnover disc to just let it do the work there. This one's a little more stable, but this is also what I would turn to for throwing rollers and things like that. Then the disc that I've absolutely fallen in love with in the last couple of months, the Captain's Raptor. It is a real overstable fairway driver. It's kind of like, if you've thrown Raptors, they're a little more overstable than the Raptors. They're more overstable than a Firebird, but less stable than another disc I keep in my bag, which is the Machete. And here's the trusty Captain's Raptor. The first one I picked up, this one also just so happens to have 3 aces on it and a whole lot of ink. I should probably give a special shout out to Brian Trahan, who has witnessed all 3 of the aces with this disc and has signed it pretty obnoxiously all over the flight plate. I got a couple of these Machetes too. These are the ones when I need something to hyzer out immediately and go a little bit of distance, but still kind of dump it then. A little farther than a Justice, but a little shorter than something like a Force or something else that goes a little farther. Then another disc I've fallen in love with lately, the Enigma. I've got 4 of these in the bag right now, all slightly different stabilities. You can see that this one is so new, it's still got the tag on it. This one has an ace on it, like a little more writing on the back there. But it's really a disc I pretty primarily throw backhand that will go straight for a good long time before hooking up. This most beaten in one will flip up flat, turn over a little bit, and then pan its way all the way back. It's what I use most of the time for max distance backhands. It just loves to stay in the air, loves to glide. So that's been a pretty invaluable disc to the bag recently. Another couple relatively recent additions to the bag, a couple different Heimburg destroyers here. I've got the bottom stamp Kelvin Heimburg Jonesboro Open Champion destroyer, and then this slightly more understable Halo destroyer as well. These things are about as beefy as the day is long. They'll come back no matter what. It's always very nice in a headwind. These are my discs I lean on, especially when I need some distance in a headwind. Then I've got one more Fairway driver in here. It's a Haley King Vulture from her time on Discraft, pretty much right before she left, I believe. And it goes another Fairway driver that just goes straight for as long as it wants to, and then goes to the ground. It's really nice when you've got to shape a fairway like in the woods or something like that. It'll just go straight until it doesn't. That's always a good one to have in the bag. Nukes, baby. It is good to have a couple of these in the bag. This is my primary forehand distance driver. This is a backup for this one. You'll see me, if you go ahead and play around with me, you'll see me throw this thing probably, let's see, how many fingers do you have? 10 fingers? You'll probably see me, you'll use all your fingers and be onto your toes by the time you see me not throwing this one anymore. So these are just so nice. They'll flip up a little bit and then just crash at the end there. And then last but not least, a Sexton Firebird. As you've seen, I do throw a lot of Discraft in the bag, and I tried a Raptor and a couple other different things, but I've just never found anything that flies quite like the Sexton Firebird. This thing it's just always got a space in my bag as long as I can have it there. It holds straight for a little longer than a couple of other discs I'm throwing, like that Captain's Raptor. It'll just hold straight, but then it still has that reliable fade at the end that really makes it a great utility disc for a lot of different shots, backhand, forehand. I'll throw it on a forehand roller sometimes to get out of a jam. It's a disc that I like a whole awful lot. That's what's in my bag. That's not how I planned on ending it, but then I looked and saw that there were no discs left. You can follow me on Instagram at GartnerNick3, GartnerNic, and then the number 3. Probably the fastest way of finding me is just if you go to Northside Christian Church and whisper into one of the trees. Usually I'll just appear. So you can contact me that way too. Just a huge shout out to Lucky Ace for giving me the time to be able to help them, work with them. I've been doing stuff on their social media page more than I've been doing stuff on my own social media page. I suppose I've told a couple people this recently. My kryptonite is someone telling me I'm throwing well. So if somebody tells me, hey man, that was a really good putt, listen, I'll miss those next 3 just for you. And I'll think about that for the next couple days, but hey man, that was a really good drive. Well, not on the next hole, because we gave that chance up now.